Okay, I see Alina is a speaker right now. Can you hear me? Can you speak?
Yeah. I hear you, but I don't hear you last time. Hello, everybody. I'm Alina Sernatska, Ukrainian Army. I'm in Ukrainian Army. I'm a sergeant, and study. I was study English in the school 3 months ago.
Alina started to study with Sen, correct?
Yeah, she's great, and maybe she's not only teacher, English teacher. She's some kind of therapist.
This is awesome. Well, do you see my invites or no? Or like I tried to speak again because my plan was to have me as a host, San and Val as a co-host, and so then we will have at least maximum 10 slots for us speakers, and we can talk about all the project that we're doing with the San, what our goal is, why it's important, and like what we achieved for the last 2 weeks.
Maybe some people in list who listen now us now, maybe they can speak with us about it.
Oh, I see Rebecca. I will give you the mic. Val, can you talk? I see you
Yes. Can you
accept the
guys
co-host.
hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hi everyone. I'm Val. I'm the IT head at the organization.
Hello, everybody.
Hello?
Hey guys, can you hear me all right?
Yes, we can hear you. Hello.
Oh, finally. Sorry guys about the mess up with the microphone. Hi guys, my name is Stepan. So I found out about you guys from Sunday, actually. And the way why we got connected is that I was previously running a volunteer project called Tutors for Ukraine, where we were doing pretty much a very similar thing to what Sunday's and you guys are doing. I think we had about 600 people, students, go through our project in the last 12 months. This spring, we had to downscale it a little bit, just because due to the personal commitments. But we still have the part of the team running the group classes. And I've connected with Sandy, and I'm cheering for you guys. So and just want to share some of my experiences. So hopefully that will be helpful to you. So kind of happy to sit in and listen and maybe provide some advice in the consultancy role to you.
Thank you for joining, Stepan.
Yeah, thank you very much, Stefan. It was so nice to hear someone say, we're cheering for you and really want this to work. But even though you were doing a similar thing and it doesn't feel like competition. It feels like let's, keep on going with this project. So it was really nice to hear from you. Thank you for reaching out.
My pleasure.
Since she's here, can we hear from Elena? She's one of my students, and it would be really nice to hear her perspective before she has to go. Elena, if you feel up to it, you are welcome to speak in English, or you can speak in Ukrainian, and Tatiana can translate for everybody. Up to you. We'd just like to hear about what your thoughts are about the project and what's been helpful for you learning English so far.
Thank you. I'm a little scared about my English, and so a lot of people in this call. I think this project, it's about Sandy. It's about she's great. She's
Stop it.
very good. No, uh, she's a very very good person, and she like a son for us, for me and my friend who are Ukrainian soldier now. And I like this project because of так, я буду все-таки українською. Тому що це підхід орієнтований на клієнта, на те, щоб кожен відчув, що до нього є піклування, і до нього і йому дозволяють вибирати час, можливості, і все це дуже індивідуально.
Alina likes the project because it's centered around the student, and student can pick the time when they can learn and have lessons, and also she really likes the personal take and personal approach.
Так, я хочу розказати, чому я стала вчити англійську прямо на фронті, і чому це важливо. Сенді написала мені сама, і я хотіла, тому що вже 1,5 роки на той момент я просто пройобувала все своє життя, і все, що для мене важливо, майже все, я тільки займалась письменництвом в Твіттері.
Okay, Alina wants to share with you guys why she started to learn English when she's at the front lines. Ти мене чуєш, Алін?
Так. Все добре.
Я просто кусочками перекладаю, щоб...
Так, вибач, що довго.
Oh, it's okay. She wants to share why she decided to learn English being in the armed forces, and actually and why it's really important. Also, Sandy actually reached out to her by herself, and Alina saw it as an opportunity to start learning.
І в армії я відчувала, що я повністю втратила своє життя, свою індивідуальність і свої можливості, які в мене були. І що це справді деградація того, що я вміла і могла до армії.
When she joined the armed forces, she felt that she started losing herself, she started degrading, and she will start losing everything that she did before. So to start learning English helped her a lot.
Так, і я змогла зробити це, тому що Сенді прийшла сама, і вона сказала, я підлаштуюсь під тебе, ось тобі 1 година дня, по київському часу, там кожний день обирай любі, ти можеш відмовлятися, казати, що ти не зможеш, ти можеш писати мені там за 5 хвилин до уроку, що ти прийдеш в будь-яких умовах, і саме через це, саме через теплоту і індивідуальність я змогла.
And Sandy actually reached out to her first and said, like, I don't care, like, if you come to the lessons or you don't, like, this is 1 p.m. every day. And if you show up, it's okay. If you cannot show up, it's okay too. Like, you can send me a message 5 minutes before the lesson and tell me, like, are you feeling like doing the lesson today, or you don't listen, or you're not feeling like that. And because of this personal approach and how Sandy cared about her, she started learning English.
В мене був урок, коли я залетіла в розпалагу в квартиру перед уроком, і в мене були одяг трохи в крові, і я так дуже швидко помила руки, і потім я весь урок сиділа і бачила, що в мене ще на руках трошки крові, але я при цьому говорила з Сенді, і це ніби вікно в іншу реальність і в майбутнє, тому що на той момент я взагалі не вірила ні в яке майбутнє, і тому сама думка вчити англійську ніби створювала для мене майбутнє.
То був ваш перший урок? Чи просто один з уроків?
Ні, просто один з уроків.
So for one of the lessons with Sandy, Alina had when she came back from the positions, her hands were still in blood, but she was talking to Sandy, and she felt that it's through learning English and talking to Sandy, she can see some future for herself. And it's like you getting from the war to the other reality, and you can open the new windows to the future for yourself.
І Сенді не робила зі мною уроків, ну, звичайних, ніякої граматики. Вона просто говорила зі мною, мені було важко і страшно говорити, але вона дуже тепла, і тому я продовжувала з нею говорити про війну, про те, що відбувається, і вона змушувала мене говорити про плани, і я починала вірити в майбутнє.
So Sandy didn't do like the regular lessons with Alina. She was just talking to her and making her to make plans and things like that. So Alina started feeling that she has a future.
Потім до нас доєдналися мої побратими, люди, які теж хотіли вчитись, тому що є багато молодих людей, які через війну втрачають свої навички, свою англійську, і це також, по-перше, це допомагає з англійською, по-друге, це допомагає вірити в майбутнє для себе.
After she started having those lessons with Sandy, her friends who's also in armed forces start joining as well, because there are a lot of people who's in the armed forces who had civilian lives before, and they start losing their level and understanding of English. And when you have something like that to learn English while you're still at the front lines, it's helping you to believe in the future for yourself.
Maybe it's all. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you, Sandy. You're great.
Thank you so much, Alina. Thank you so much for your words about everything so far. It's been an absolute pleasure to work with you with English, but also just to become your friend. So thank you so much for everything. And thank you for being here as well today. I know you're very busy all the time. Does anyone else want to ask a question to Alina? Okay, I have a question. Alina, what do you feel about being corrected when you're speaking? So is it better to let the students just keep talking if they make small mistakes, just so that you can keep having a conversation? Or do you want to be corrected whenever you make a mistake? Or is it just about finding a balance that's different for everybody?
I think it's about balance. When we start, I was really scared, and I think if you don't stop make this if you correct me all the time, I can't speak with you. You have a balance, and it's great. And maybe you can ask every student what she or he want and do it.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. My advice to any mentors in the chat today is just start slowly and aim for fluency over accuracy at first. And once your student is quite comfortable with you, you can ask them, like, how much would you like me to correct you? Would you like me to correct you? Are you having a bad day and you don't want me to correct you at all? Like, just make it really easy for the student to tell you what they want rather than having a specific plan, because that's what's worked so far for me. Any other questions for Alina? I actually have another one of my students in the class. I don't know if she's brave enough to speak, but she's welcome to request to be a speaker. She knows who she is. Quignal, have you got your hand up? Would you like to speak?
Yep. Hey, Sam. Hi, Alina. Kind of a question. Because as part of the group, I kind of have a military background. For being a mentor for these lessons. If we have, students who are in the armed forces of Ukraine, do you think it's easier to just kind of talk about life and working in English in general, or are there things that you guys need there in your positions where certain things in English should be tailored to the jobs that you're doing, or is it just better to just kind of learn about English in general?
Так, Аліна, відповідайте.
I don't need English in my work now, and work few months ago, because I was only units combat medic, and I worked with Ukrainian guys and girls. But I think it's about future. It's about not degradation for me, and maybe I need this work for future, because I speak with journalists, something like it, and maybe one day I do my English Twitter, maybe.
I'd just add that that could be different for everybody. So establishing what your student needs at the beginning is the way to start a good mentor relationship, I think. But thank you very much. That's a great question, Quignal.
I think when you when you study, when you work with students who working in army, you need to do one thing. Don't ask what you don't need to hear. Don't ask if you scared to hear answer. It's important. It's about teacher, because I told Sandy many very bad things, and it's about care yourself, care about teacher. Oh, we have Nastya, Йобаний пес війни. Maybe you want to speak. We speak about English school, Sandy. I'm study English in this school, and it's about Ukrainian army and when we need English and something like it.
Hi. Yabani Pasvini is translated like the fucking dog of the war, if you didn't know. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Arina, this is the first time I hear you speaking English in this space, so I'm so fucking proud of you, baby. So, what do you want to do? To learn somewhere English? Bullshit, I don't like it. Whatever you say, I don't like it. I don't like English schools. I don't like the systematic. I don't like the. I know that you have to have the system when you study, but all of them, bullshit. Thank you.
I love it. That's awesome.
I love Nastya. She's great. She's Ukrainian doctor, and she was teaching teaching students from another country in Ukraine, teaching in English, and she's crazy and she's great, and I love she.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bibi. I am not an English teacher. I'm the teacher of anatomy classes, anatomy, operative surgery, and clinical anatomy. But I just teach them in English. That's all.
Yeah, and now she army in army, and she have a hard work in
It's
one
Yobani
army
Les
unit.
around now. Yes, it's Yobani Les.
Sorry.
What are you talking about? About the English school? Bullshit. Next topic. I came in like like I own this place.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
love it. It's
I'm a bitch. I
great.
know. I just wanted to say that tomorrow we have the day of the defense. Ёбаный, а як воно перекладається, блядь? The day...
Fucked up, maybe.
Ну, коротше, День захисника і захисниці, йобаний, як воно називається? The defense,
Uh,
the day of the defense of the armed forces, yes. Let's call it the day of the armed forces.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be a minute of silence at 9 a.m. Is that correct?
We have it every day at 9 a.m. It's not only one day.
I see. I see.
yeah, I work in commander. I worked in for working in commander level now 2 months, and every morning we have this minute, and it's maybe it's a little insane because you eating in the you eat your breakfast in your unit, and you need to stay and don't eat and stay. It's not, it's some insane for me, because I remember about my friend who had died in this war, not only on 9 a.m.
Yeah, I think that tomorrow they will stop like everything in Ukraine at 9 a.m. To remember all the fallen heroes.
I don't see the meaning, to be honest. Every moment of our life in Ukraine can be a silence, a moment of silence. Like every moment you remember about your friends, every moment you remember about your losses. Like every moment is a silence moment.
I think it's mostly for people who forgot.
Ah,
So
who don't give a
when
fuck? Yeah, sure.
yeah, when everything will stop working for 1 minute, they at least start questioning what's going on.
I don't like something like it. Я не можу англійською, тому що це
You don't like
нечесно.
something like that because why?
Тому що це нечесно, тому що ти їси, ти встаєш, в тебе не прожована їжа, і ти як дебіл стоїш, і всі навколо такі стоять, і в них такі обличчя одухотворенні. Ну, типу, це нечесно і якось трохи дико.
So she says it's kind of unfair and it's kind of stupid because when you eat and there's the bell rings and you all stand up and you have unchewed food in your mouth and you stand like a moron, you look like an idiot. With you have to have the inspired face because it's a moment of silence. You don't, but you think only about the food about behind your cheek because you look like an idiot. So it's kind of it looks stupid from the side. It's not for us. It's not it's not for people who are already in the army and already have some losses. We remember always. They can do it in the schools. They can do it somewhere else, but not for us. We remember.
Yeah, I just want to remind why we're doing the space right now. So this is opportunity to everybody to ask San questions because she is this beautiful lady who started all this project about teaching English for Ukrainians, and we don't have a lot of time to do that because San has the other meeting soon. Yes, San?
Actually, that's a good point. I'm doing a session on Zoom after this for any mentors who would like further instructions about what we're doing, and they can ask questions there as well. So we are going to have lesson plans, but these are totally optional. It's just whether or not your student wants to follow a structure or just, talk about anything. So just establish that with your student first. But then if they say they want more structured approach, then we will provide you with lesson plans based on what level they are at the moment. So at the meeting after this in half an hour, I will be going through one of those lesson plans and showing you, you know, these are the instructions for this type of exercise. Here are some tips for doing a listening or speaking type of exercise. But we also want this course to be quite interactive. So there'll be an option for you to review the teaching material and make suggestions or corrections, or let us know whether you liked the lesson or didn't like the lesson. So both students and mentors will be able to provide feedback on all of the materials that we provide. But I wanted to focus those lessons mainly on speaking and listening. So things like grammar and learning vocabulary will provide material to the students that they can work on their own, because I don't think it's a very good use of your time if you've got 1 or 2 hours a week with a fluent English speaker to spend it memorizing how to conjugate a verb, you know? I think the best use of our time is just having those conversations. And if your student wants to follow a structure, then we can provide those materials so that you know, cover all of the themes and topics that are generally taught in an IELTS type system for ELS. But don't get too bogged down in the details and the grammar. So often with my students, especially one in particular, he's a real smarty pants. He's always like, why? And I say, I don't know. It's just because. And it was a running joke with that student, because I say, I don't know the rules. I mean, I didn't make the rules. I didn't make the rules. You just have to do it like that. So yeah, don't get too.
I want to apologize. I want to apologize later
Sorry?
for being such a fucking rude, because you know you are starting something beautiful and I came here and I said bullshit. Who am I to listen to? Who I listen to? Who I listening to? I'm crazy, just crazy chick from Twitter. Don't listen to me. Actually, what you're doing is actually really cool, and if I can help somehow, I can. But I failed on C2. I don't know. It's like I failed. I open it. It's like quantum physics. You know all the rules. Yeah, they don't work here.
Yeah.
I'm like fuck that shit. I don't know. I don't want it. I didn't even want it the C1. They made me do
Yeah.
do it.
So
So if you will have the paragraph or the section about swearing, I am ready to contribute. Like I can call a
awesome.
woman slut in 10 different ways. So.
Awesome. Maybe you can.
Аліна, я сказала, що я можу назвати шлюху шлюхою 10 різними словами, якщо що. Так що я, залучусь до цього проекту.
Okay, I don't understand all of you say, but I very like you. And Sandy, I apologize for Nastya. I'm sorry. It's Ukrainian combat medics, and it's about us.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, my approach is the same. Like, you guys can, as students, you can learn the rules if you want to, but I think the most practical way for you to feel confident speaking English is just to practice, because so many of my students already studied all of the rules and learned lots of vocabulary, but they just hadn't
And
had.
then I will start speaking.
Yeah,
Yes. It will work like that. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So the most important thing about, well, the way that you can measure success as a mentor is how comfortable your student is talking to you. If they start talking to you and swearing and bitching about their boss, then you know you're in. You're good. Okay. All right. Do we have any other questions, or anyone who would like to be invited to speak? Oh yeah, Nastya?
Yeah, I have been teaching English for 5 years before I become the university teacher. Actually, university teacher, it's a professor in English, but we have the position professor and have the position of the simple teacher, like university teacher. So I'm on the first level, like, so don't think that I'm a professor, and I don't sound like so. So I have been teaching for just for money, just it was my
You
work,
have a dirty
and I
mouth for
used
a professor.
I have what?
You have a dirty mouth for a professor.
You don't know a lot of professors, I guess Ukrainian. So When I first came to my classes, I say, okay, you're a black Nigerian group. I will say some racist jokes. Just have to deal with it. So, but I never know. I never failed. So, when I used to teach on, they said the same thing. I need to learn grammar. Then I need to learn a lot of words, and then I will work. And I say, when you want to pull up, why do you do push ups? Right, different muscles work.
Exactly.
Different. So when you, if you want to speak, you have to speak. If you have to want to understand English, you have to listen a lot. So I have wrote the whole scientific article about this, like about the pyramid of needs. Like the first one on the basis is listening, the second one is speaking, then reading, and then writing on the top of the hill. Like if you do the three other, like what are you, idiot? You will write something, like nobody cares. But the most difficult neurophysiological process is understanding the foreigner. So
That's
you have to do it like 24/7.
that's brilliant. Can I please get a copy of that somehow? I'm a scientist as well, so I'll probably really
I
enjoy
haven't
that.
translated it because
Oh,
I was writing for Ukrainians.
I'll get one of my
Uh,
students to translate it for homework.
I stole the whole idea. Do you think I'm so brilliant? No, I'm just. I just stole it very nicely. But I had just had wanted to prove the point. Like, if you want to do pull ups, why do you push up? Like I will do 100 push ups and then I will start pulling up. No, 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 no. Doesn't work like that. I haven't studied English professionally. I don't know. I haven't finished any educational establishment.
Mhm.
I don't know, like the university or the I don't know, some school. But I have seen a lot of Fox fun from Adult Swim, a lot of cartoons. Love them. South Park, Futurama, American Dad, Griffins, Monkey Dust, Super Jail, Mr. Pickles, all of that, all of that. That's why.
Awesome. That's cool. So I'd like to introduce a few people so that I don't completely dominate the chat. I was wondering if Val could say a few words. So Val, Tatiana, and I are the founders of this group, and it's really because as soon as I mentioned the idea, the two of them just became incredibly engaged and proactive about what I was trying to do, and it's been so wonderful to have them support this project and put in so much work despite having families and other commitments. So I just want to introduce everyone to Val, who's the genius behind the databases. And maybe if you'd like, Val, could you say a few words?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, guys. I don't know if you can hear me. I apologize. It's been raining here for about a week, and my internet died. My home internet died about 5 minutes ago. I'm on mobile internet, and it's not very good. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Um, so I actually saw Sandy post on Twitter about starting this project and asking for any volunteers, and I volunteered immediately for a teaching position. I haven't done any teaching yet. I have been in the software engineering business for many, many years. And so I thought that there was a need to, we haven't realized this yet, the functionality of this, but I thought there was a great need because of the number of students that we have and the number of teachers to facilitate connecting them, to facilitate being able to find students and teachers who can connect at the same time, given the different time zones that everyone is in. And so I offered Sandy to build an application for this, and I'm in the middle of doing that at the moment. I really feel like an imposter a lot of the time, where I don't think I'm doing as much as everyone else is doing. But I do think that this project is just amazing, and Sandy is doing a fantastic job. I am originally the reason I'm, well, it's part of the reason that I'm trying to help. I was originally born in Lviv many, many years ago, and I moved to the United States as a child. And so I feel a very, very strong connection to Ukraine, and I'm trying to help in any way I can. I still have some family and friends there. So that's my story here. Thank you so much, Sandy.
Thank you, Val. It's amazing because I don't know anything about the IT side of things. I just come up with crazy ideas and say, "Can you make it work?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." it's great. Okay. Is anyone else? Quignor, did you want to say anything about your experience with your first few lessons? Or Nastia wants to say something too.
Yeah, I wanted to say, if you are ready to accept volunteers, there is one thing I can. Sometimes my time is, it's crazy. Sometimes you have like too much time. Sometimes you don't have any connection. So I can do it regularly on the bed, on the stable. I can be stabilized at this work. And there is one more issue: I can get killed easily, and the students will miss their lesson. What a bummer. But if you need any help,
Thank you so much.
come on, Alena, it was a joke. I can get killed. It was a joke. It's dark humor.
Yeah.
Humor.
If you're going to be a mentor, you have to have a good sense of humor, especially if you're mentoring people in the army. I'm afraid. Okay. Yeah, Nastia, let's connect offline, and because there are loads of things that we could use your help with, and we totally understand if your time is erratic. Some days you can work some days you can do quite a lot. Some days you can do nothing. Some days we won't hear from you for several days. We totally understand that. But having your perspective,
sometimes I can get drunk and lose 2 days. So
Yeah, cool.
I'm an alcoholic.
Drunk is okay, but getting killed is where a good student should draw the line. It's completely unprofessional to get killed whilst you're mentoring someone.
I agree.
Please behave. No bullshit.
Okay. Quignor, would you like to say a few words just about your experience? Because you're the first person we've matched with someone, and it would be really cool to hear how you found the process so far. I think that some people are put off by the word teacher, which is why we've changed it to mentor, because you don't need any teaching skills for what we're trying to do. We're not trying to get people to pass exams or, become English professors. We're just trying to encourage them to feel comfortable talking. So could you tell us a little bit about how you found it, Quignor, and any comments that you have?
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Anne. Quignor here. I'm actually surprised that I am the first actual connection. I didn't realize that until Sam brought that up the other day to me. So I was like, oh. Personally,
no pressure.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
Right. So my student, as far as the term is, he's an officer with the Marines. So we've had a couple sessions so far. We're going to have another one tomorrow. So already it's been a great connection. He hasn't canceled on me at all. And Sam, forgive me if I'm kind of out of my lane, but to anyone who's in this chat or anybody who listens to the recording who either wants to be a mentor or wants to be a student, it almost feels kind of like a virtual pen pal in a way. We haven't really had a set lesson. Like Sandy said, it's for the student. What do they want to get out of it? So our couple sessions have just been, just casual conversations almost, and just touching base, kind of as like Alina was saying, like, can you correct a little bit? Can you correct too much? It's just really just talking. And then kind of towards the end of it, or for planning for the future, what do you think maybe you can improve on, or what's something you're interested that we can talk about? So, overall, after a couple sessions, I just think it's been a great experience.
Cool. Thank you.
I hope to pick up more. I have to pick up more students. I have one connection. I hope I can get some more, because I was nervous, and I started doing it, and I think it's a great time. I think it's a great program, and it's awesome.
Awesome. And thank you for being the first mentor and for doing it without any supporting materials. But I think it's been great. And I'm really glad that connections worked out for you. One other thing I just wanted to mention was that sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the student, for whatever reason, doesn't feel like, they're comfortable talking to you, and you shouldn't feel as though that's a bad thing, because it's happened to me as well. People are just like, I'm sorry, I can't understand your weird accent or whatever. So don't be disheartened if a student switches to a different mentor. We're giving them that ability so that they can find the person who's right for them, and it's probably going to happen at least with one person. But don't feel like like you're a bad mentor. It's just that the connection wasn't right. So yeah, yes, Nastia, what would you like to say?
I mean, definitely like it. Sounds fun because remind people, or if when they say I'm too shy to speak English, that they get drunk and post stories on Instagram. So it can be worse, like
That's
if people
good.
get embarrassed all the time. For me, speaking English, like making a mistake, it is the at least I can do. Like, this is not the most embarrassing thing I can do. So just remind people that they suck, so they don't have to worry about being bad in
Yeah.
English.
Well, the other way that makes it much easier is you should ask them to teach you a word in Ukrainian, and you'll see how hard it is to speak a different language where your mouth has to move in a different way, and that makes the whole thing makes everyone feel more comfortable, because you realize how hard it is for them, and they realize that anyone trying to speak a new language is not going to sound perfect to start with. So that's quite a good fun exercise for me anyway.
Oh my gosh. The other morning I spent maybe 5 minutes trying to learn how to say happy birthday. Zidinem Narodzenia. But Alexander
But
was
you
like,
tried.
no,
That's the main thing. You tried.
Narodzenia. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. Oh, there's certain sounds where one of my students who's in the chat now was trying to teach me the difference between two sounds, and I was just staring at her like I can't hear the difference. I can't hear the difference. But it goes the same way. I showed my students a video about the difference between a New Zealand accent and an Australian accent, which is really obvious to New Zealanders and Australians, but everyone outside of those countries hears exactly the same thing. So yeah. So we've only got 15 minutes left, and I'd really like to hear from Rebecca if she wants to speak.
Well, I tried to invite you a couple times. I don't know why it's not working, but I will send her a request right now.
Okay. Is it because we have too many speakers?
No, we can have up.
Aliona, did you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, reminded me of my friend Tom. He's Australian and he lives in Kiev. He's been coming to Ukraine since like 2013, and when the full-scale invasion started, he realized that he wanted to live in Ukraine. He's an independent journalist. He's very cool, and he is like very based in terms of like learning Ukrainian. And I spent I don't know, probably a week with him in Kiev in August, and it's like really funny how he so he's learning Ukrainian with a tutor, and he keeps like if somebody in Ukraine addresses him in Russian, he like makes a point of like replying in Ukrainian to make sure that to remind people of the importance of sticking to Ukrainian. And one of the funniest things was like when he was asking me, so in Ukrainian there is like there is a concept of like noun cases. So a certain noun changes, every noun pretty much changes its ending on depending on its position and function in the sentence, right? And in Ukrainian it's called vidminki. And when he was asking me about like some the inflection of a certain noun in different cases, and he at some point he just lost it and he was like vidminki blять. And he was like, there was so much desperation in his voice. It was hilarious. But yeah, I think one of the things that can come out of this project is like people to getting to know Ukrainians a bit more, and to some extent, the Ukrainian language as well a little bit, because I think that it's something that's often overlooked. Like people who consider themselves supportive of Ukraine, they often either don't follow many Ukrainians or they don't talk to many Ukrainians, and I think that's actually it's become a huge problem, because very often, for example, with fundraising, people don't know where to donate, and people don't know what Ukrainian organizations are credible and trusted by Ukrainians, and it kind of extends to all the other aspects of Ukraine support, to be honest.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons and I talked to Alina about this last week. The main reasons that I started this project was I was sick of hearing about what was going on from people who weren't Ukrainian. So that's why I started to try and make friends online with people who were actually there, rather than following things on the news, to get the real perspective of what was going on. And once you do that, you realize that that's the position we should be listening to, because these are the people who are most affected by what's going on. So, as well as encouraging people to be more comfortable speaking English, just hearing what they have to say is going to be a huge part of this project as well, and why we want as many people as possible involved. Go ahead, Nasta.
Are you going to base your program on any methods? For example, like column methods. I like direct English methods. They work. Like, are you going to stick to anything, or it's going to be just whatever exprom?
I'm sorry. Did you say color methods?
Yeah, color method.
I'm not sure what that is. So I'm halfway through a teaching English as a second language course. And I'm using the standard topics and levels.
ESL, right?
Yeah. I'm using the A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 kind of levels, and just trying to make material that's appropriate for that. But if there's a better way, I'd love to hear from you about it. So just get in touch. All right, before we run out
it's just it's just a program when you just ask question. It's a question and answer method all the time.
Okay,
all the time. You just answer. I never stick to the program, like 15 minutes of the lesson, and then so you say he was an abuser, and she's like, yeah, and people just start having the conversation, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I couldn't stick to the program.
I think that's the best method. So I've got some very different students. Some of them really like to get through a lesson and feel a sense of accomplishment when we finished a lesson. And I have another student who I don't think we've ever finished a lesson before. We get to exercise 3, and then we start talking about black holes or the meaning of life or something, and it's wonderful. So it just depends on what the student wants to do. If they want to pass an IELTS exam one day, maybe they'll like something more structured. If they just want to practice and talk shit, basically, that's brilliant as well. Okay, so I think we have Rebecca as a speaker now, so it would be great to hear from her. Rebecca is one of the most organized people I've ever met, and she's helping me from not going crazy.
Thank you, Sam. Sorry guys, having issues with the internet. Hola, привет, my name is Rebecca, I'm Mexican, and I find this project by Twitter. So I was telling Sam when we first spoke that I truly believe in what she's trying to do. Maybe Mexico, it's really far from Ukraine, I don't care, but we try to support as much as we can. Also, I'm trying to learn Ukrainian as well. My pronunciation is not perfect, so I understand the guys that are trying to learn English from scratch. So thank you, San, Baut, Tiana, for allowing me to be here. And what I can say, I work as an internal mobility manager for a software development company. So whatever I can do to support, I will do to support. I started following you guys in Twitter. So if you have any questions for me or something, you can contact me in the Balakun chat, in Telegram, in Twitter. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. And now we've got 8 minutes left. So, Dead Cake, your chance is running out. If you want to talk.
Come on, Marina.
Don't
Join us.
Come on, Marina. Come on.
Join the Dark Lord, Dead Cake.
We have cakes and cookies. Come on.
Yeah. Everyone knows who she is because she lurks in the chat, but she's more of a texter than a speaker, so she might not feel like speaking to everyone. But so while she's deciding whether or not she's going to speak, I also need to introduce Tatiana, who has been absolutely amazing and the host of this space. She's a genius when it comes to social media marketing. And again, she's the kind of person where I say, hey, let's do this crazy thing. And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll make it work. And that kind of proactivity has been absolutely wonderful. Do you want to say anything, Tatiana, or?
I would love to, but I need to make some triangles and pickles right now for my daughter.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll be doing more of these. So, you know, there's plenty of chances to hear from Tatiana, but also just having people who speak both languages is such a huge plus for us because we can, you know, check the materials are correct, check that we're not doing anything culturally insensitive. So that kind of guidance is really helpful. Dead Cake is connecting. Yay. Anyone else have a question while she's connecting? Or I don't know.
Why would you learn English? Like, why would you study Ukrainian? I wouldn't do that shit. You know, those cases. Three male. It's male, it's female, and it's neutral, and no reason.
Well,
I think she likes a challenge.
You can study Spanish with 10 different tenses. So.
Я comprendo чего-то там трошки Spanish.
Я вивчаю українську мову не так давно. Це не все розумію. Не comprendo.
Боже, як гарно. Пишаюся вами.
I want to learn Ukrainian because actually my best friend is Ukrainian. We met before the war. I think it's important to learn Ukrainian because, of course, as a Spanish speaker, my native language is Spanish. You can read the news in English. But if you really want to find the truth, as San is saying, you need to learn the language because there are many things that are lost in translation. So yes, I know that Ukrainian has 7 different cases, but if you want to do the things, you will do it because it's worth it.
Your pronunciation much better than, you know, Mexicans in memes and the cartoons. You know, like I have to do the abortion. Where you can to go? You can go to Mexico. In Mexico, you can do the free abortion, something like that. You know, it's dirty, it's filthy, and I think it's not fun. Oh no, okay, sometimes it's fun, but hard Ukrainian accent is similar to hard Spanish accent, but Spanish I like more. Like, I decided to bless you with my company, even though you don't deserve me, like that, you know, TikToks.
Okay, it's cool because I.
What is kayate? What is kayate?
Kayate. Shut up.
Thank you.
Kayate.
Kayate, блядь.
Блядь, I know this word. I try to find like Mexican equivalent of this. Guys. No. Like, блядь, is this Ukrainian word?
Pinche would be Spanish.
It's Russian. It's Russian. Блядь is Russian.
It's not pinche. It's not pinche in Spanish. I think it's more harder than.
You have to learn one more word. Хвойда. It's a блядь in Ukrainian. It's a beautiful word for describing a sexually unstable woman. Хвойда. You sounds like slut. Sounds beautiful. You want to be хвойда, you know.
Actually, hoida sounds like joda in Spanish.
Хвойда.
No, joda in Spanish. It's also like блядь word in Spanish.
Okay, everyone, I've got to go for this session. So if anybody wants to join the Zoom session about the teaching materials, just could you, if you have me in Telegram, send me a message there. If not, send me a message on Twitter and I'll send you the invite link. You guys feel free to keep going and chat about whatever you want, but it was so great to have you all. Thank you for coming. We'll be recording this so that you can share it with other people who you think might be interested. And hopefully we'll keep doing this. So yeah, thanks everyone, and see you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Anne.